All right, we have Dawn from Nevada here. I think it's Dawn. Is that Dawn? We have Monica from Nevada. We have Mia from Oregon. And we have, last but not least, Nick here from California. Welcome, guys. All right. Wow, these costumes. You guys have taken it up a complete another level. Like, we had a pretty creative outfit a couple episodes ago, but you definitely take the cake. Like, what's the inspiration?
Well, you know, the Mystic Manor is constantly full of angels and aliens and interstellar beings, so what better,
That is brilliant.
Than to bring it.
We finally have someone to steer the spaceship other than me, who's more qualified over here. Oh, wow. How has the week been for you guys? Who's got something exciting to share about their week? Of course you do. Of course you do.
Greetings, relatives. I have come with a transmission. Are you open to receiving? Yes. Inviting you all to take a deep breath. We got the musical medicine and optimistical alchemy with the vibration so heaven sent. I'm just reflecting the masterpiece. I am in awe and in wonder. I got in lightning and thunder with all of my sisters and brothers. Straight up be repping the mother, earthling, multi-dimensional, keeping mama's balance, living intentional. Life is so sacred, the plants and the animals, all of mankind to all astrals. Channel the wisdom received from the ancients, guided by masters, proceed through the matrix. Meditation, we raise in vibrations, elevating through imagination.
You know how much I love that I had no idea he was going to do that? Well done,
so
sir.
awesome.
Well done, sir.
Wow. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to come in here, and at first, like coming into the manor, I felt kind of like just nervous and a bit of unworthiness, like coming in, like just expecting like so many cool people, so many wonderful, beautiful souls, and like some thoughts like, am I worthy enough? Am I good enough? And I'm coming into this space where I feel so supported and feel so loved and feel so seen, and just everyone here just co-creating magic together has truly helped me step onto my edge. And I resonate with your saying, I am enough. And I'll show up with what I am because I know I'm enough. And thank you, Mystic Manor, for being a reflection of that.
Wow. Next retreat guests have like a tough act to follow. That was so awesome. Start prepping, guys. Oh, wow.
Amazing. I'm going to remember that moment for like the rest of my life. That was incredible.
Oh.
Yeah. So good.
Way to step out on your growth edge and like do all of that. Like he was an alien and just bringing some epic transmissions. It's like we've seen like 3 characters already. Like, wow. How about you, Monica? How has your trip been? Any questions maybe that bubble up for you after hearing Adam's epic transmission and message?
Yeah, I just feel a lot of gratitude, and it's very surreal to be here. I had a lot of synchronicity leading up to even me coming. I was one of the first 111 people that had answered the email to get more information on the retreat. And I will never forget the day that I got the email from Brandon. All day I had been saying 111 like all day long. And then like I checked my email late at night and it was like 111. And so I go into my email and I see Brandon Beecham and I'm like, whoa, he emailed me back. And then I see that I was one of the first 111 people and I was like, oh my God. Like I called my best friend Ashley. I was like, what is going on right now? And then, to my surprise, this is season 1, episode 11.
Yeah.
So.
And to add to that, okay, so just to lay a little groundwork, there is 111 spots here at the Mystic Manor over the course of a year. Just, I didn't plan it that way. There's, 37 episodes, 3 rooms, 37 times 3 is 111. And I put out on the Positive Head podcast, okay, guys, I'm going to be doing these retreats. If you're interested, let me know. And as soon as I have all the details, you'll be the first to know. That's what she's referencing. So I go to send out messages to the people who had emailed me saying, yeah, give me the details when you got them. And there was, lo and behold, 111 on that list when I originally went out. And so, yeah, the synchronicities keep rolling.
Yeah.
That's a great tie-in. Season 1, episode 11. So.
Yeah, so just a lot of gratitude. And I've been doing a lot. It's so synchronistic, too, that we have Adam talking about self-love. Like, I lead an organization called Love Yourself Foundation.
Of course you do.
I created it about 2 years ago, and it's been now 10 months that I've been doing community work in Vegas mainly, but have visions to take it to other places and abroad. And so I just want to say thank you for all of this. I'm so grateful, and it's so wonderful to hear everything you had to say, Adam. I think the biggest thing that I'm so passionate about too is men stepping up and talking about the power of being vulnerable. And in my family too, like I have a lot of men that haven't stepped into that yet, and I've done a lot of healing work on my own to forgive and to understand and grow more compassionate. So I guess a big question I was talking to my friend Bree, who's here in the audience today. And she was part of another retreat earlier on the season, the first week actually.
Season 1, shout out.
Yeah.
Episode 1. Really.
And we were just talking about how when one person in the family steps up to do some healing work, the ripple effect that has. So I guess the question that's coming is, what ripple effect have you had in your family with your own healing?
Yeah. I basically flew here more or less after spending 2 weeks with my mom, dad, and sister in Florida. So I'm fresh off some time with the family. And what I'll say is, I don't know if there's a more difficult soul contract than you have with family.
Yeah, definitely.
And, the design of it is so perfect because family is related by blood. They're the ones that you really can't just be like, we're breaking up. Like that you're family. And so of course they would be the most challenging contracts because they have the most growth. And so why would the universe make it where you can just let it go? And so there's been a lot of growth in my family as I've gone on this journey, and different members of my family have started their own journeys in various ways. What I believe about family that's, I think, really important to speak to is I think that when we're born to parents, both just biologically, energetically, all the different layers of reality to it, we take on all of our parents' wounding in a way. And then we go through life with this initial imprint of wounding, which we now have to learn how to be with and heal and bring into wholeness in order for us to feel in wholeness. And the amazing thing about that journey is once we've gone on it, we are now carrying the medicine for our parents. And I believe that we get to be the medicine, and within one generation, you heal the ancestral karma so it doesn't get passed on. And so the hardest part about that for me is it requires also the receptivity on the other end. And I know a lot of people who can relate to that feeling of like, I want to help my family, I want to help my mom and my dad and like be happy. And there's the only thing that we can do is continue to hold up a light and say, and be as happy and full of joy as we possibly can, so much so that it counteracts all their limiting beliefs around you being their teacher. Because the evidence of what you're doing and the happiness that you have is overwhelming. And so once again, bringing it back to the self-love and why it's just key. It's key.
Yeah, leading by example and letting your actions. It's what I talk about all the time with this stuff for people, that it's challenging for them to accept or believe, or it's really pushing the edge of what they've learned and thought their whole lives. Is like, I always say, just listen to these concepts with an open mind, and then see for yourself the results they get. And buckle up your seatbelt if you're going to pay attention with an open mind. Yeah, but I agree with what you're saying. I think it was Ram Dass that said, if you think you're enlightened, spend a week with your family or something like that. Like, it's definitely, these are the people that, we're meant to grow the most with oftentimes. And yeah, really all we can ever do is might have been him that also said, all I can do for you is work on myself. All you can do for me is work on yourself. Mm-hmm. And by doing that, you then, you're able to just show by the progress that you've made.
And can I add, though, that the growth, like in that relationship, may look like cutting off a member of your family. Mm-hmm. Like that might be the lesson, as hard as that is, to actually own your boundaries. And so I want to make sure to speak that, so that people don't think that you have to be in an unhealthy, abusive situation in a relationship because that's the soul's evolution. No.
Right.
Like the lesson may be owning your boundaries and cutting off those relationships.
Good point. Absolutely. Little Miss Mia, the angel of the bunch. How are you? How has the week been? What questions you got?
Wow, I'm amazing. This week has been the most impactful in my whole life. Yeah, I'm so grateful to be here, and just like listening to you speak for the past hour or so is amazing. Like, I so resonate with everything that you say, especially the I am enough poem, spoken word. Like, before I came here, listening to the podcast since May of this year, like, completely just feeling the call to come here, but then feeling like I am not enough to come here. Like, hearing stories of amazing people and things that have happened in this space, and like, we have sound healers, we have channels, we have all these things, and I'm like, whoa, that's so cool, but like, what about me? Mm-hmm. Where do I fit in? And realizing that, like, just being the receiver is enough. Because as much as like being the facilitator is so important, like being the person to receive, we need those people too. And that has been a huge lesson, is like just that self-worth coming from places where, I haven't felt before. And I'm curious your take on like giving advice to people who haven't really found their passions yet, people who, they're not really dabbling music, they just don't know at all, and like finding self-worth in that, like being lost, because I felt that way a long time.
Thank you for sharing that. I can feel how deeply that has been alive for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. I find that our passions, like the thing you're talking about, like finding that passion, will come out of an overflow. It'll come out of an overflow of something. Sometimes it's pain. Like the pain becomes so overwhelming, I need to get it out through music or whatever. And sometimes it'll be a gratitude. Like, I'm so grateful for my experience at Mystic Manor. So I went home and I baked a carrot cake that I sent to Brandon. Do you know what I mean? Like
he's in the green bean casserole.
And then like that becomes an expression, a creative expression becomes like the thing you want to bake or whatever. And so the receiver role is also the incubation stage, right? Like when I hit a creative, like what it feels like a writer's block or creativity block, instead of seeing it as a block, I realized, oh, I just need to go soak up more of life. Mm-hmm. I get to go out and do things, and something is going to happen and catalyze more creativity. So you're just in the stage of receiving as something in you alchemizes into what is going to be a creative expression. And the key to that is just recognizing that you are birthing creativity through you. And the same as you would a baby, you can't rush it. Don't rush it. Enjoy this stage, because there will be plenty of stages where you are outputting it.
Yep.
And this is a beautiful, beautiful inhale
Right.
moment.
Which I actually am, because I have been documenting this entire week. And I have like my own YouTube channel that I've
Have your own
been-
YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yeah. See, so then it's not even a question about finding your passion. It's a question about questioning yourself.
Right.
In the process.
Right, but like I've grown really into that self-worth, but like me a few years ago, like I just want to get that message out to like everyone, you know.
And art is designed to get people to feel, right? That's what art does. And so how can you become a better artist is feel more deeply.
Beautiful. Mr. Nick, how you doing, buddy?
I am just so thrilled and grateful to be here and to share this lovely week with you guys over here. And I don't really have a question. Your poem sort of spoke to all the questions that were sort of swirling around for me. So my deepest appreciation. I think it really just leaves me with kind of this like, okay, so like what's next? In my own personal journey, I'm in a state of some transformation, of really stepping into a more authentic life for myself and pursuing my own creative endeavors, and just really taking that leap. And it's terrifying. I'm absolutely terrified. My parents, I'm sorry if you guys are watching this, hearing me like consider this, they're losing their minds. They're worried, and I'm too. And there's a big sort of like 3D factor in all this when rubber's hitting road, and bills need to get paid, and logistics, and wow, it's so easy to just fall back into sort of a fear state. I guess I'd like to ask, was there a time that you really had to take a leap of faith, and just put your message before like that, maybe the whole logistics of it didn't make sense? I don't know. If you have a leap of faith moment you could share. My
life is a consistent string of moments of leaps of faith. The stories that I told you, like we ended a 10-year relationship where I thought we were going to have babies and grow old together, and I was never going to have to date again, which is terrifying experience it's been. And like the point is, like, the message came through, and what happened that night we ended to make an album. When my closest friends were telling me, like, you're not even a musician, how are you going to ever make your money back? Like, you don't go on tour, like, people don't see you, they're going to buy an album. And then I go and pay like, $25,000 to make an album. Like, it's not a small thing. Like, this is a big thing to do. And then I received the message to film everything. And so I pour all of my money into a show that I wasn't even monetizing, that I gave away completely for free, that hasn't made me any money. But it's what I talked about earlier, which is that you're getting this call to do something. And it may not be because that thing is meant to bring you all the financial abundance that you want. But if your path, what you intend for it, wants financial abundance and wants the things that would bring for you, all of that, then that will be a part of your path as long as you walk the path. But what comes up for you along the way, the resistance, the fear, the doubt, are the very things that need to be overcome and worked through to become the person that becomes a match to the thing that you're calling in. The universe is giving you what you're asking for every time you ask for it. It comes in two forms. You're either a match to it, so it shows up right away, or you're not yet a match to it, so the opposition shows up to teach you the lesson so you can become a match to it. And so you have the opportunity to look at what you're going through and remove the idea that that's going to be the thing to give you the results that you want, and accept that it's just the next step of the evolution to get to the thing that you want.
Sure. And in your thought process, there's a point, and I feel like it comes very naturally to you. The point between that knowing and then the choice to action. That there's a switch in there somewhere between, like, I know this is the right thing, or I ought to take that step, or hell, I need to really work on this habit and like put more energy into this relationship, like, whatever that is. The knowingness that I ought to do that, or and then the choice to, like, all right, I'm gonna do this. And in between, so I feel like, at least, so a lot of my struggle, a lot of work that I've gone into is taking out that, or bridging that, or trusting that more. That's where I have been pouring so much self-love and faith and trust into that. And I have hit dead ends, but I feel like for me, I am naturally inclined to hold on a little bit longer, or contemplate, perchance. Whereas others maybe might. That bridge might be shorter. They might jump to action quickly. So I guess the question is, like, does it come very naturally to you, or
No.
is that a muscle? Have you worked that?
No, yeah, no. I opened up a bit about my past and, like, not feeling safe on the planet, and really, my dad immigrated here from the Philippines, and so I was raised in an immigrant household of like needing financial security, needing to achieve, needing these things of the American dream. And I'm a highly intellectual, highly analytical person. So I can see the pros of every side of an argument. That's part of what the beauty of that is, my ability to hold people in unconditional love. Because I can see the pros of why they might be this or that or whatever. And the shadow side of that is being just spiraling in it. But the thing is that people say, like, when will I know when I'm ready? When you decide that you're ready. Like, the thing is, the change happens in an instant. Any major shift that you've had in your life, the personality shift, that moment where, like, I'm different, I'm taking that leap, it happens in an instant. Everything else, every single piece of that, your entire life up until that moment, has just been preparation for that change to finally be welcomed. And so while you sit there and you're like, I could blah, 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 you're not yet welcoming that shift. Right. And that's not a bad thing or good thing. That's just saying that the question isn't about, do I do that or do I not? The question is, what's the resistance? Where's that resistance? Because when I understand that, I can decide if that resistance is a loving thing that's supporting me, or if that resistance is a fear-based thing that I want to move through. And if you can get to the point where you're realizing your resistance is all based in fear, you're now just saying, am I going to feed the fear or not? Yeah. And when it gets to that point for me, it's an easy decision.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. That's a great breakdown.
Yeah,
really.
That's incredible, amazing. So it comes back to awareness of self and knowing, hey, what is my resistance here? What is it exactly that's holding me from inaction? And is that coming from fear?
It's the entire game, man.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, you just put it into the best words, man. Like, we've been kicking around this idea amongst ourselves of owning that right, and pouring more self-love into that right. That at the end of the day, like, in any situation, like, reserve that right for yourself to know what's right for you, and that's your power, and own that, and don't let others tread on that or impose on that or put their opinions around that. And if they're there, see them. Come back to that, like, I know, and to hold that above all others, and to trust that. So, thank you so much.
Amazing. Wow, what an episode. You guys are all such bright lights. Thank you so much for showing up. We do have one last gift for you guys, some musical medicine by the incredible duo Zen Soul. This is Living a Dream. Until next time, journey well. Love you all so much.